Hello, today I'd like to talk about London, England. It's one of my favorite cities, and pictured here you see a still from Absolutely Fabulous, one of my favorite television shows. And when I think about London, England, I definitely think about their humor, food, history, and just the beauty of the town. After a long winter spent in Alaska, it's a great time to go, perhaps during late spring or early summer time. And it's not as expensive as you would think to get to. It's relatively easy to travel to. All you need to do is get to Seattle, Washington, and then it's a nonstop flight direct to London, England. Definitely, when I think about London, England, there's the iconic double-decker buses, Big Ben and Parliament, as well as the royal family and Dame Edna. London, England is also considered the gateway to Europe. You can get to many destinations from London, England, like Amsterdam, Paris, and Rome. Get to Seattle, Washington. It's just a short 10-hour flight to London, England. You'll definitely want to have your passport in hand and arrive about 3 hours prior to your flight to London, England. Once you arrive in London, England, you'll definitely see the iconic yellow signs, which will direct you to the underground stations to catch what they call the tube to get to your hotel. You could also take some other ground transportation, such as the famous London taxis, which are black. They tend to be on the expensive side. It might cost you around $60 to $100 to get from the airport to your hotel. But I would definitely recommend taking the underground, or what they call the tube. You can get there. One-way price ticket would be approximately about $8 at current prices. You could also book a mini cab, which is pictured right below the black taxi. Those run cheaper, but like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. I would definitely recommend taking the underground tube. Pictured here, you see the underground tube. They run about every 10 minutes. Relatively clean, not a lot of graffiti. London is definitely kind of a melting pot of cultures, so you're going to run into anybody. But it's safe. I've traveled throughout the underground in the wee hours of the night to any time during the day to sightseeing locations throughout London. There's a multitude of places to stay. There's the high-end hotels, which can be pretty expensive in central London. They could probably run anywhere between $300 to $500 a night, but you're going to get top-notch service. I personally stayed in a town, or in a area of London called Piccadilly Circus. It's very central to locations to anywhere in London that I wanted to go to. It was on the cheaper side, but the hotel room was tiny. My bathroom, for example, I could use the facilities, reach the sink, and take a shower all at the same time. It was just that small. But the price was right, and it was where I wanted to be. You can definitely, on the outskirts of London, find some cheaper places to stay, but you're going to run into it taking about an hour or more to some of the locations that you're probably going to want to visit. And those locations, like the Tower of London, which houses the crown jewels, is very famous for some political prisoners. The first Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth I, was in prison there for a while. And it also abuts the river, which is a great place to walk and then just kind of sightsee. Here you have Hyde Park, which is kind of like the Central Park of London. It has rivers, fountains, gardens, and it's just an overall beautiful place to spend your day. Maybe perhaps get a bite to eat and bring it there to enjoy. And no trip would be complete without visiting, of course, the Queen's palace, Buckingham Palace. Pictured here, you see the changing of the guard, as well as the throne room and a formal dining area. When I also think of London, I think about places to eat. Um, England is very famous for their Indian food. I love Indian food. I could eat it almost every day. One of the best pieces of lamb that I've ever had was in London. Garfunkel's is a great place to eat because it's a kind of a chain restaurant, but it's relatively moderately priced, and they have a good variety of English food. If you're missing America, you can always go to the Hard Rock Cafe. Pictured here, you can see your basic hamburger, barbecue, and also they have great memorabilia where you can take home with you. While I was in London the last time, it was also one of the few times I was able to see the Concorde come in for a landing, which was an amazing thing to me because I love airplanes and aircraft and aviation, and I was able to see it come in for a landing. So I hope you enjoy London just as much as I have, and I hope that you're able to create your own memories and experiences. Thank you.